Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash, joined by my good buddy Doug, and we are here to talk about Week 9 in the NFL. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Hope everybody is having a great day today. Doug, how's your day going? I know here it's cooled down quite a bit. I think it was already pretty cool up there last time I talked to you, but how's everything going up in the Wisconsin neck of the woods?
Not bad, Josh. For Wisconsin, I'll take it. It's 50s. It's
50s?
50s. It's not snowing. I'll take it right now.
Yeah, we were actually in the 50s yesterday, believe it or not. So it's definitely cooled down a lot for us. Last time we were in the 80s. So
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. It was like 2 weeks ago, and I just my thoughts and prayers go out to Jamaica. But
I guess I didn't hear what happened in Jamaica.
Oh, that hit by Category 5 hurricane, really strong Category 5.
Oh yeah, man,
like
absolutely.
Third strongest ever, and correct hit. So
yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers out to Jamaica for sure.
185 mile per winds.
Golly, and that happened overnight or
2 nights ago, 2 days ago.
2 nights ago. Wow, I don't know. I haven't heard of it. That's crazy.
I don't know.
But yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers go out to them for sure. If you're new to the channel, if you would give us a like and then hit the subscribe button after you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk in general, we would love to have you join us in our Discord. We have a very positive, very family-friendly community in our Discord, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. We provide lineups for all the major sports, and we have been very consistently winning. I would say pretty much in every sport, wouldn't you say, Doug? I mean, we've been pretty consistent, especially over the last month. I would say that we've pretty much won every night. So,
absolutely. We give out like lineups to members and all that, and
yeah,
to me, it's like I had such good lineups I didn't post.
Yeah,
it was so frustrating for me last night. Really frustrating.
And then last night, Laravia really carried my lineups. He had an awesome game. So
I pivoted off him in one of my lineups that I posted, and that was the difference of cashing in that lineup. I had O'Neal instead, but anyways. But I made really good money last night. I'm not complaining. It's just like not the one I want to post.
It's just crazy how one guy can make the difference in the world. Like you could be, making a few bucks or whatever to hundreds or even thousands just by one.
And so Davis getting injured as the game started. I got 10 minutes before the game started that he was visibly limping a little bit right before game. I wanted to pivot off him, and my internet went down.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Well, I guess before we get into NFL real quick, what's your quick thoughts on the World Series? I know I've been pretty shocked, honestly. I thought the Dodgers were going to get pretty
Dodgers in 6. Josh, come on now.
I had Dodgers in 5, I think. So
we had to talk me into 5. You did.
Yeah.
I don't. Blake Snell is he's nervous out there. He is.
Yeah, he was a completely different pitcher against the Brewers in the NLCS. Like it's like watching a completely different pitching staff, honestly, other than Yoshi, who's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, he was getting ready to go out. If they went to 19 innings, they said he was going to pitch in the 19th inning the other night. That was insane. So,
really,
yeah.
I mean, it's a fascinating. You're learning the weakness of Milwaukee, and it's that they haven't put quality bats since August up against teams. And if they had done that like they did in August, I think the Brewers might be playing Toronto.
I think so too. That's my big takeaway is if they could just get into that stupid bullpen, but they just couldn't do it. I mean, they were going 8-9 innings,
And Woodruff was the other issue.
Yeah, Woodruff was the other issue for sure. Well, we're here to talk NFL, so we'll get back to that. We'll start with a game-by-game overview. We got a game tonight. A little bit more intrigue, I think, in this game than originally thought there would be because Lamar Jackson's supposed to be back for Baltimore. So that's going to make this game more interesting. He's always fun to watch and entertaining to watch no matter what the score is. So alone, it increases the entertainment value. So Miami is hosting Baltimore. They're 7.5-point underdog at home. Minus 445 on the money line is Baltimore. Over under of 51. So real high over under. 73 degrees, wind blowing to the west-northwest at 7 miles an hour. And it looks like both teams are pretty healthy, other than Tyreek Hill in this game. So it's going to be, at least on the offensive standpoint, from fantasy football standpoint, that's mostly what we're looking at. So, yeah. Then we have the Sunday 1 o'clock slate. Chicago Bears taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are a 2.5-point underdog at home. Bears are minus 145 on the money line with an over-under of 51. 54 degrees, wind blowing to the west-southwest at 5 miles an hour. Bunch of guys questionable for the Bears: DeAndre Swift, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Olamide Zaccheaus, and Cole Kmet. And then for the Bengals, looks like Joe Flacco's questionable. I think he should play. The Bengals better hope he plays because Jake Browning's been terrible. I saw they signed – or no, that was actually the Vikings that signed Walford, wasn't it? So, yeah.
Could have a name and –
Vikings, Flacco or bust.
So anyways, real quick, Browns were playing who again? Sorry. Ooh, not Browns. Bengals are playing.
Bengals are playing right? Bears. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Update on injury report. I am extremely under the weather today, so bear with me again still.
Oh, no, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's fine. It's just like I'm in a little bit of fog today. Yeah. And not medicated. This is just weird.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bears definitely Odunze pretty much is going to be go. Zaccheaus, I'm turning doubtful. I don't think he's going to play.
Okay.
What it's sounding like. So it's going to be DJ Moore and Odunze and whoever else they can possibly find.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they're down. There's number 3 receiver, and their number 4 receivers can be out, I believe. So and they got Komet's 50-50.
Mm-hmm. So number 3 would be what? Luther Burden?
Burden's most likely out.
Okay.
He's doubtful. He's less likely than the Zaccheaus.
Okay.
And Zaccheaus is not very looking good. So
right. Okay. All right. So the next game, Minnesota Vikings in Detroit taking on the Lions. The Lions are 8.5-point favorite at home, minus 500 on the money line with an over/under of 48 or 48. 58 maybe. They could probably get there because this defense matchup in this game is not the greatest. So could be a pretty high scoring game. A lot of fantasy intrigue. You're the Vikings expert, Doug. Anything in particular that stands out to you in this game?
A devastation.
Yeah.
I think Gibbs, Williams, and St. Brown are all just lock them in, lock and load.
Yeah. What about Laporta? How's the tight end situation with the Vikings defense?
Cashman's back.
Yeah.
But they
I know they got lit up by Gadsden. I did see that game last week. That was crazy.
Well, they did get lit up by Gadsden. It is very true. Cashman's back. But again, he's going to help out a lot, and they're going to have Wilson out there now this week.
Okay.
Outside linebacker, that helps out. Very defense.
I'm very familiar with Eric Wilson. He was a Packer last year.
Yeah. And then what's the other thing I want to mention? Williams for Detroit. Oh, guys, a lot of good information on here today. Williams receiver for Detroit. The offensive coordinator sat down with him a couple times this week. They're really going to try to get him involved this week.
Okay.
Here's your nugget of the week. Bam.
Yeah. Very good to know. Thank you for the update there. Carolina Panthers in Green Bay taking on my Packers. The Packers are a 13-point favorite, minus 870 on the money line with an over-under 44. 48 degrees, wind blowing to the southwest at 11 miles an hour. I don't know a lot about the Panthers situation. I know Bryce Young's going to be back. I don't know much more than that, though. Looks like Xavier Legette's questionable. From the Packers standpoint, though, I would look away from Josh Jacobs in this game. They gave Emmanuel Wilson more carries in the last game against the Steelers, and I think that's going to be the case for one more week because Jacobs is dealing with a calf injury, and he's obviously not fully recovered. If you watch him run, you can tell he doesn't have that burst. So I like Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft again. I think it's going to be the same guys we saw on Sunday night. So Matthew Golden could have a breakout game. Everybody's been waiting for that pretty much all year. But I still think Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft are going to be kind of the foundation of this offense. They're a completely different offense when Christian Watson's in the lineup. So it's just amazing how much he changes their offense. Denver taking on Houston in Houston. Houston's a -1.5 favorite, -125 on the money line with an over-under of 39.5. Marvin Mims is questionable for Denver. Nico Collins is questionable, but I think it looks like he's going to return this week. From what I'm seeing, he was upgraded to limited, I think, in practice yesterday, and I haven't checked to see if he practiced today. Do you know if he practiced today?
No, I don't know. I would expect him actually not to practice today. Can I get a little rest?
Okay. Yeah, they might rest him after yesterday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
But, yeah, he was limited yesterday. He's still in the concussion protocol, so obviously you have to get cleared by the medical doctor on the team. And then Christian Kirk, who knows? He's pretty much been questionable all year. He hasn't been able to play much at all. Dalton Schultz, kind of the same situation. He's questionable. And we'll move on to Atlanta in New England. The Patriots are a 5.5-point favorite, -265 or 255 on the money line. Over under of 45, 51 degrees, wind blowing to the south or to the west at 7 miles an hour. Michael Penix Jr. is questionable for Atlanta. So is Drake London, and so is Kyle Pitts. So obviously those three are a big key to their offense. So they'll have to play in this game if they want to keep it close.
Who's playing quarterback?
The Patriots have been surprisingly good this year. So what's that?
Who's playing quarterback for Atlanta this week?
Well, Michael Penix Jr. is questionable. Right now he's listed as the starter, though. So we'll see if he actually plays.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins was a disaster against Miami. I don't know if they'll even go back to him. That was bad. And they're a bad defense too. So that was even more surprising to me. I thought Cousins might have a decent game, but not the case at all. The Patriots, Stevenson's questionable. So is Stephon Diggs. I would expect them to play. But we'll move on. San Francisco in New York taking on the Giants. San Francisco is a 2.5-point favorite on the road, -145 on the money line with an over-under of 48.5. 56 degrees, wind blowing to the west, 8 miles an hour. Brock Purdy is listed as a starter. He's questionable for San Francisco. Ricky Pearsall is also questionable, so we'll see if those two are able to make it back this week. Collins from the Giants, Bo Collins, I'm really not familiar with him, but he is questionable. And we'll move on to Indianapolis, the surprise team, no doubt, this year against the Steelers. Indianapolis is -3 on the money line, -165 on the money line, and over under a 50.5, 54 degrees, wind blowing to the west southwest at 7 miles an hour. Looks like pretty much everybody's healthy in that game, at least on the offensive side of the ball. So we'll move on. LA and Tennessee, Chargers are 8 or 9-point favorite on the road, -510 on the money line with an over under of 43.5. 55 degrees, wind blowing to the north-northeast at 5 miles an hour. Ladd McConkey is listed questionable for the Chargers. For the Titans, it's Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, and Chigakonku are questionable. Move to the 305 or the 405 on the East Coast slate. Jacksonville in Las Vegas taking on the Raiders. Jacksonville's a 3-point favorite on the road, -150 on the money line with an over-under of 44.5. Brian Thomas Jr. is questionable for Jacksonville, and that's all I see listed here. So it looks like Brock Bowers will be back for the first time in what feels like forever. The Saints are taking on the Rams. The Rams are a 14-point favorite, -1,000 on the money line with an over-under of 44. Tyler Shuck is making his debut as a starter for the Saints, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Alvin Kamara is questionable, and Raheed Shaheed is questionable as well. Puka Nacua should be back for the Rams. He's listed as questionable, but he is expected to play. So the Rams, they should be a 14-point favorite based on that.
I was watching that game real quick, Josh, and
Yeah.
when Chuck came to the field, the offensive lineman just kind of looked down, and some of the position players kind of looking at the ground like, "Oh boy." It's just no expression. I mean, I've never seen a team's language. I don't think in my life look so like not happy with with the quarterback replacing them. At
Right.
least they'll come in, pat them, we gotcha, whatever. Didn't see that.
Well, I know, and they brought Taysom Hill in, and I think people started getting excited, and they were like, "Oh, he's not even a quarterback."
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It always takes guys a while to get used to the NFL and the speed of the NFL and everything. So we'll see if he's able to adapt. If not this week, in the near future, but it's tough. It's you're seeing it McCarthy too. So those guys that have to start right away always feel like it's going to be a rough year for them, but not always. We have guys like Jaden Daniels who are kind of the exception for that.
Yeah, I'll back up to a slightly below average quarterback, and this guy. Look. Anyways, let's just move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. We got two premier quarterbacks, Mahomes and Allen. Game of the week: Chiefs -2 on the road, -130 on the money line with an over/under of 52.5. 50 degrees, wind blowing to the southwest at 5 miles an hour. Pacheco is questionable, as is Hollywood Brown for the Chiefs. Joshua Palmer, and Matt Prater are questionable for the Bills. Seattle.
Pause. Pacheco will be out. Pacheco will be out. He's week to week now.
Pacheco will be out?
Yeah, he's out week to week now.
Okay, so it's going to be the Kareem Hunt show.
Yep.
And Brashard Smith. They'll give him, some opportunities too, but for the most part, it's going to be Kareem Hunt. Seattle is in Washington for Sunday night. Seattle's -3-point favorite on the road, -160 on the money line with an over/under of 48. It's 49 degrees, 3 miles an hour with the wind blowing to the east-southeast. Looks like pretty much everybody's healthy. Matt Gay is questionable for the Commanders. Last game of the week, Monday Night Football, Arizona Cardinals in Dallas taking on the Cowboys. Dallas is a 2.5-point favorite at home, -145 on the money line with an over/under of 53.5. That's the highest of the week. Kyler Murray's questionable, but I think he's going to play. So I think that's a pretty good look at the week 9 slate. Do you have any thoughts before we move on to our position plays?
Well, the Giants have an injury at running back this week.
Scatterboo. My gosh, he just destroyed his ankle last week. That was gruesome.
And I mean that's got to be mentioned before we get going. Yeah, you got him. It was sad to see that. So you've got 3 key injuries. Great value at running back.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when guys get injured like that. I mean, especially for him, it was very bad.
He's fun to watch. He is fun
to watch, and it was tough to see that happen. All right, so let's go to our position plays. Quarterback. My top quarterback this week is Daniel Jones. He's 6,200 on DraftKings, 7,900 on Fanduel. He's been kind of like the Sam Darnold of this year, basically. He has a great matchup against the Steelers. They've allowed the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks. As everybody knows, or most people probably know, Jordan Love had an awesome game against the Steelers on Sunday night, won the Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC. And I think Pittsburgh's going to come out and try and do everything they can to stop, Jonathan Taylor, just like they did with Josh Jacobs. So not saying they're going to be as successful because Jonathan Taylor has pretty much been unstoppable this year. But I do think that's going to be their focus of their defense. So I think at least early, there's going to be some opportunities for Daniel Jones down the field. I like Jared Goff. He's 6,000 on DraftKings, 7,600 on FanDuel going up against the Vikings. They have, a pretty middle of the pack, I guess, maybe above average defense against quarterbacks, but the thing is their offense has struggled so much that they've had a hard time staying, off the field, on the field. So the defense is on the field a lot, and they get tired. And the Vikings are dealing with the Lions' offensive line, which is a big problem. And they can wear down the Vikings pretty quick with that run game. So I think that Goff should have plenty of opportunities. You said that Jameson Williams is going to get involved, which makes their offense even that much tougher to stop. So definitely like Jared Goff. Whoever plays between, which I guess it looks like it's going to be Brock Purdy now. It could have been Matt Jones, but if it's Mac Jones, I think you can play him too. He's been pretty good fill-in. Had a pretty nice week last week, even in a tough matchup against Houston. So the Giants are a lot easier matchup, at least on paper. They have allowed the third most fantasy points to quarterbacks. So one of the two, whoever plays between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, which it looks like it will be Brock Purdy, you can definitely play against the Giants. So those are my quarterback plays. Anyone else that you like this week at quarterback?
Oh, Josh, you know me. Top pay up, Mahomes would be my very, very top pay up.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, that's a shootout game. Got to have Josh
Mm-hmm.
Allen in consideration. And then you said Jones, only worry I have there. If they're able to run the ball on Pittsburgh, which I think they will be able to. If they load up on the run, they'll pass. If they load up on stop the pass, they'll run.
Right.
But Pittsburgh has a lot of injuries on their defensive secondary as well. I
just want to interject on that real quick. So that's a really good point you brought up about the Colts. Is everybody's like, are they for real? They're 7-1. They can do both, like you said. They can run on anybody and they can throw on anybody. So that's why they're so good. They're so tough to beat because no one can stop both. It's one or the other. You got to pick your poison. So
yeah, and if you want to stop Pierce and Downs and downfield, then they can throw an intermediate pass, or a short pass, or pass it to screen pass to Taylor for another touchdown. They're the most balanced team. Their offensive line is different this year. The way they block, the scheme they block, and the guys they have blocking this year are much more athletic and powerful. And that's helped the offensive line block both pass and run better. That's how bad they were. Now they're on the Vikings, and you see what the Vikings offensive line's been when they're in. Although Kelly's been out, but totally revamped offensive line. Defense has improved in the secondary. That's where they're weak. They're a lot better team. I also think that Aaron Rodgers has done a lot better this year. And sure. Other quarterbacks I'll throw out there real quick, just kind of the order I have. Herbert, Love, Drake May, Love's out there. I think Williams, if he's low owned, he has my interest because who he's going to throw the ball to. It'll be more no Doomsday because don't have any other options.
Exactly.
And I do like Stafford. The yards kind of worry me on the yards he'll throw for.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going to punt, like on DraftKings, my punt plays on DraftKings to be Dart, Trevor Lawrence, yucky. Maybe Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase. And like I said, Pierre had Purdy, and if what an play quarterback, Geno Smith's got the receivers back, and he's got the tight end back.
Yeah,
he's 4,800 on DK. I would play him on Fanduel.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, running backs. I like Kamani Vidal. 6,300 on DraftKings, 7,700 on FanDuel. The Titans have allowed the third most fantasy points to running backs this year. They allowed Jonathan Taylor a record 3 straight games where he got 3 touchdowns. It's Jonathan Taylor, so it's a different story as far as that goes. But still a good defense to run on. He's in a real similar spot to last week where I think that the Chargers can get out to a lead and he's going to get a decent amount of carries. Last week he had 23 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown for 22.7 DraftKings points. And he's clearly the number one guy at running back while Marion Hampton is out. So definitely like him. As we mentioned, Pacheco is going to be out, so I like Kareem Hunt. 4,700 on DraftKings, 5,900 on FanDuel. The Bills have allowed the 6th most fantasy points to running backs this year. pretty much, explains it there. And then the other thing is he gets all the goal line situations, which with Pacheco out, it's not going to be a big deal. But they always bring him in for the goal line. So definitely like Kareem Hunt this week. And then, like I said, with the Packers, I think Emmanuel Wilson for the next week or two is going to be a little bit more of a 1B than a number 2 running back for them. So Emmanuel Wilson is on my radar as a sleeper.
Yeah, and Wilson was on my radar as well. Other pay-ups I'll consider would be McCaffrey. I like him this week against the Giants 25th ranked run defense, and he also catches the ball. Giants have problems with both. Kareem Williams, although I don't like the share that Corum's getting with the team. That will be of interest if Jacksonville decides not to play football this week. I like Gentry.
Yeah.
Another option that you've not mentioned. Look, Taylor's number 1 on my list, everybody. I had him as my own lone pay up. And then Gibbs is the other one I'm really looking at strongly. Yeah. And Cook's another one. Sorry.
Yeah, Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what else do I have on here real quick? We can Cheapies, Hunt. And this in my order would be Hunt, Vidal, Tracy. Rita paid out, and you already mentioned Wilson. And oh, by the way, Brown, Chase Brown at Draftkings is right around the same price as some of these mostly paid outs. He's cheap. I don't know why, but he is. But he's got the talent. He's got a good matchup against bad defense against the run. So the Bears.
Okay. Oh. I like it.
Oh, we can go both ways. Swift has a nice matchup against the second worst run defense in football.
Who is that?
Swift is going up against
Swift. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had Swift. I don't know why I didn't put him on my list, but yeah, I have Swift as well.
Yep.
Wide receiver. So Devontae Adams, I still like him. Nakua is still coming back from an injury, so those guys can be a little bit limited when they first come back. So I would expect that a little bit from Nakua. Although we have seen him have pretty monster games even when he comes back from an injury before.
Yeah.
But Devontae Adams wasn't in their lineup when that happened. So I think that Adams could have a decent game. Michael Pittman Jr., he's had probably the best career or best year of his career so far. Pittsburgh has allowed the 5th most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. He scored 23.5 and 20.8 DraftKings points the last 2 games, and he has scored a touchdown in 6 of 8 games this year. So he's definitely been a top target for Daniel Jones. I like DK Metcalf against the Colts. On the other side, they've allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to wide receivers. And Christian Watson, as I mentioned, he really opens up the Packers offense. So I do think he'll be involved. He's shown in the past where he can get multiple targets in the red zone. Mm-hmm. So he can get in the end zone. That's going to make up for a lack of, catches if he doesn't get a lot of targets. He can also get the deep ball. So that helps too from a fantasy point standpoint. And then the other receiver I like is, I don't have it listed here for some reason, but who was I going to say?
Oh, no, Rice. You're going to say Rice, right?
No, not Rice. He's one of the more obvious plays. It's going to be on the value side of things. Oh, Chimere DK. He looked really good against the Colts last week. And
he did.
Tougher matchup this week for sure. But I think he's kind of starting to establish himself as the number 1 guy in Tennessee. They thought it was going to be A.O. Manor, but I think it's going to be DK from what I'm seeing. So
it is.
Again this week. And that's pretty much it for wide receiver. So who do you like this week? I know you said Jamar Chase, of course, and some other guys, but
that's a short list as usual. Mm-hmm. I'm joking, everybody. My top just pure point values are in this order: Chase, Rice, Puka are my top 3. Sneaky plays. At pay up, I think Justin Jefferson go for 100 yards easily against Detroit. And
McCarthy, that's my only thing is I don't know if he can get it with McCarthy. Like if Wentz was healthy and he was the quarterback, I'd definitely feel more confident. But
Well, take the over. And he'll get 100 yards receiving, probably get a touchdown, and that'll be the Vikings 7 points. Amon Brown, I like better than Jefferson this week.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and what I'm hearing, I like Odunze, mentioned him earlier. Who else? The person I like least is Brian Thomas Jr. He's a complete fade for me.
Mm-hmm.
For Jacksonville, I don't know if he's even a number one receiver anymore. Pay downs, Travis Hunter, Watson, Pierce can get a deep ball, DK, and Coker. Coker is the other one that's
Okay.
keep an eye on the injuries there in Carolina. And yeah, Leggett, and then the other receiver, oh boy. And good day to everybody. But Coker's a sneaky play like this week. He's a good player too.
Does he play on the outside or the slot?
He plays mainly outside.
Okay. So he'll probably be guarded by Keyshawn Nixon then.
Who?
Keyshawn Nixon.
Yeah, but the thing is that they'll probably want Thomas, not Thomas. They have 3 receivers.
Yeah,
one's out.
Well, I think McMillan. Coker's on the Panthers, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think McMillan's going to be guarded by Carrington Valentine, and
right.
Then I think Coker will be guarded by Nixon then.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, I like that matchup even more now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for that, by the way. And that's the list I made so far.
Okay. All right, tight ends. There's a ton that I like. Tyler,
there's a
top play for me. What's that?
There's a lot of mid-range receivers too, but I'm not going to go over them all.
Yeah. Tyler Warren's my top play at tight end. Steelers have allowed the second most fantasy points to tight ends. Tucker Kraft I like. Aronde Gadsden I like. Colston Loveland, especially if Cole Kmet's out. I like him this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that I like too, but those are probably like my top 4, top 5 guys. So
Kraft, Warren, Kittle, Gadsden.
Yeah.
Well, Kittle is grossly mispriced to be a lot higher owned. And he's in a real good matchup. Well, he's matchup proof when he wants to be.
Right.
But that's a list you're looking at really for top end. And then cheap, I like Johnson. You can pick which one.
Theo.
Yeah, definitely Theo. Jawad Johnson I was a little higher on, but then I just reading up on his injuries, and I don't like tight ends of rib injuries make me nervous.
Yeah, he was getting a decent amount of targets last week, so I like that play. Anyone you don't like at tight end?
Nah, I'm fine. No Viking tight end this week.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're terrible. I'm not a anti-Loveland. He just come along a little slower than a couple of the other rookies.
Yeah.
I think to me, he looks like a Kmet clone.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And last week, I think, didn't Gunnar Helm score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had him as a value tight end, so that was a great call. I
don't like him as much this week, but I do like him.
Yeah. Defense. So the Packers, I like the Rams against the Saints. I like the Chargers against the Titans, and I like the Lions, unfortunately, Doug, against Minnesota. A GPP, which this is definitely going to be a GPP with Bowers back, but I do think Jacksonville, they've shown some capability of forcing some takeaways. So, Geno Smith's always prone to an interception. So I think that Jacksonville's in play there as a GPP only play. I wouldn't play him anywhere else, but in GPPs, you can play Jacksonville.
Well, I agree. In all the defenses, I've done almost no research other than Lions are my top defense this week.
Okay.
And then Rams.
Yep.
Packers. Sacks are going to be there. And you want a cheapie, just throw the Giants in there.
Yeah.
they seem to get points. I don't know how their defense each week's getting points.
Right. Even though they're in the bottom, when they look at the rankings and stuff on defense, they've definitely been making some fantasy points. So
yeah, they'll get a turnover and they get the sacks. The defensive line does have some good pressure they put on quarterbacks.
Exactly. Lock of the week, I'm going to take the Rams over the Saints. That's going to be my lock. You had last week. Let's see, who did you have last week as your lock? I don't see where you had
Jets. No,
that was your upset. That was a great call. They beat the Bengals. That was your upset pick. That was
outright.
Yep, beat them outright. Exactly. So who do you like for lock this week?
Whoever I had to lock for last week won. That's all I know.
Yeah, I do too. I'm trying to think of who it was though.
Was it Green Bay?
No, it wasn't Green Bay over Pittsburgh. It was.
Yeah. I could look it up, but long story short, I won my dynasty league this week. We have our Survivor week.
Survivor, yeah.
Signed up winning Cyber Pool. It was Indianapolis.
Okay, Indianapolis over Tennessee last week. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
What do you like this week as your lock?
Oh gosh, these are too easy. Well, everybody's going to England over Atlanta, but I wouldn't be positive on that one. I like the Chargers over Tennessee.
Okay.
Going out on a limb again.
Yeah.
See who I'm picking on?
Yeah, I do. Tennessee.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, did you do your upset or?
Yeah, my upset's going to be Cincy. If Joe Flacco plays, if he doesn't play, then I'm not going to take them as an upset, but I'll take them at +3 against the Bears if Joe Flacco plays. So,
who's the favorite
on the road? I mean, if you look at the numbers for Caleb Williams, they're drastically different on the road.
I know, and I've been saying that, remember?
Yeah.
But I'll keep saying it because it's still true.
Mm-hmm.
But he is going against Cincinnati. That might be the cure-all, everybody.
It could be.
That doesn't mean they'll win.
Right.
I'm just saying it might be the cure-all for him doing good. My upset of the week is not Minnesota. Who's favored in Denver, Houston now?
That's what I was looking at. I think Houston by 1.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I looked at that too. Yeah, Houston's a 1.5 point favorite.
I'll take Houston to cover.
Okay.
To win by 3.
Okay.
But really interesting.
Yeah, I think Denver should be the favorite in that matchup, but yeah.
I think Detroit will be up by 10 points at halftime.
Okay.
I get bold prediction. I'll be coming up later.
All right. My bold prediction last week, it was Dak Prescott was going to throw 3 interceptions. He had only thrown 3. He ended up throwing 2, so it wasn't too far off. My bold prediction is maybe even more bold than last week. This week, Jonathan Taylor will not be a top 10 fantasy running back this week. That's my bold prediction.
Wow, that is.
Yeah, that might be a crazy prediction.
My projection of Jonathan Taylor is the 13th best value.
Really?
But he's 13th.
So we both have him out of the top 10?
No, that's value. He's third far as
value-wise. Okay, I see what you're saying. So what's the bold prediction this week?
Gentry will hit 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
For the Raiders. He's done nothing like that this year.
Yeah. I like it.
I think your offense should open up now, and I think that's going to let Gentry a big game.
Yeah, with Ballard there, it's definitely going to make a big difference for him. I can definitely see why you would say that. And we'll look at Prizepicks. Daniel Jones, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I like that. Tyler Warren, more than 0.5 receiving and rushing touchdowns. He didn't get one last week. He'd had 4 in the previous weeks. 4 in a row in the previous weeks. And like Michael Pittman to score a touchdown. As I mentioned, he scored 6 of 8 games this year. He's got it in the end zone. And then Kamani Vidal, more than 59.5 rushing yards. It's a goblin play, so it doesn't pay out as high. Have one more for our members. I believe that it is my pick at quarterback this week. I think you took pick last week. Is that correct, or do you remember?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I about 10 of them I like. So
yeah. For me this week, I'm looking at. I don't think I saved my entries. Dadgummit.
I did.
Let's see.
I think I did. So funny.
Yeah, I'll just build it around a free one then.
Yeah, good.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to take GPP. I'm going to go. I kind of think what you're saying is true about Stafford. I think he might be limited as far as passing yards because of that matchup.
It might be a blowout.
Yeah. Let's go Brock Purdy, 7,100.
Well, interesting stat. Let me see. San Fran is second best or the best passing yards per game. There's either second best or best in NFL.
Yeah, and the Giants are one of the worst, and he's got good, pretty good numbers when he's been in there. And they've got a pretty solid offense around him. So
yeah, I'll put Kittle at tight end right away, and then we have that correlation.
Okay, I like it. If Scadaboo was healthy, I'd probably play him on the backside of that deal, but I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Well, Tracy is a
yeah. Do you like Tracy this week? I don't really like him that much.
I like him, in the sense that he'll catch a lot of passes.
Yeah,
but if you go $100 less, I'm probably going to get in the end zone.
Yeah, $100 less than Tracy
is Hunt, and he'll get in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt more.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. All right, your turn.
Okay, you're it. Just sneak out in there. Somebody that has me worried is Montgomery. David Montgomery this year.
Yeah.
And let's look at just another off topic again. So that's something I want to mention. You have to be worried. Just look at my list. Udell 7,700. Yuck. Round 72. As you can tell, not look at the pricing on Fanduel.
Yeah, Montgomery's either boom or bust. I mean, he's got 4 pretty solid games and then 4 complete busts, or 3 solid games and 4 complete busts.
Let's put Emmanuel Wilson in.
Okay, so we're going super cheap at running back. I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's go with Jamar.
It's just I don't see him not doing well.
It's going to be dependent upon if Flacco can play. That I really like his ceiling, but even if it's Jake Browning or whoever, like Chase just gets 1 million targets, so he's pretty much as safe as it gets usually.
Well, I agree. I
mean, he got like last week. I played a prop where it was like T. Higgins, 4.5 catches or whatever, and he didn't even come close to that because they just kept targeting Chase. I think he had like 16 targets or something. So 19 targets. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. 90
Uh,
hits.
that is a lot. We're doing GPP, right?
Yeah. GPP.
Parker Washington, 5,300. I think DKs can be a little more popular. Although, what's Hunter? No, Hunter's higher up on FanDuel. Already checked that out.
Yeah. He's like 6,000. He's not too bad.
No, we can afford it.
Yeah.
But
You want to do Hunter instead of Washington then?
15.
Is that what you're going to do then?
What's Watson at?
Watson is at 59, I think. 57.
So I prefer Watson.
Okay. I do too. All right. I do still like Hunter, so I could go there.
I don't mind him.
Yeah, I don't mind him either.
He's our number one receiver right now. Brian Thomas is playing, but you do have Trevor Lawrence throwing it to him.
I think Rams are the number one defense this week. You like them number one?
Why Detroit? But no, it's the Rams. Who's cheaper?
Well, the Packers are the most expensive, but I'm just saying, like, I think the Rams are going to have the best week of all the defenses.
Hang on.
Kamara's like banged up. Shuck is, fresh meat for the Rams defense, and I just see them dominating that game.
Okay, but don't be surprised.
They're 4,900. They're right below the Packers. So that leaves us with 7,750 for the last two positions. So we can get pretty much anybody we want.
Just because it's not been chalky, let's do Rice.
Okay. 8,200. So 7,300 left. Let's go Bowers. What do you think?
What is he?
68. I was going to go Warren, but from a GPP standpoint, or we could go Gadsden.
I'll be honest. I think that Bowers and Warren, but I think Kittle's price is going to have so much ownership.
I'm gonna
Then,
keep Kittle in there. I'm just thinking in the flex we could run two tight ends this week.
oof. Yeah, we could. Let me see who do we got. Who do we have for Giants as a run back? We don't. It worries me. But could do that. Let's just do Bowers for now. I like Bowers.
Or we could do.
I think
we could do. If he's not, no, he's too much. Never mind. I was gonna say we could do a Dunze, but he's 8,000.
Yeah.
MCL injury though. I didn't know that. Or a heel. Thought I said MCL.
You had me all worried. I don't mind Bowers.
Okay, so we can do one of the following. Go ahead.
Geno Smith still does not have me overly
excited.
I like Kraft over Bowers this week.
I like him over Warren.
Let's do Warren.
Okay. That's easy enough.
Although wait.
Okay.
I want to have a charger, so let's keep that in mind. We don't have a coat, we don't have a charger.
Oh, do we have enough for Vidal? I'd take him.
Well, we will after a move, don't worry.
Let's see. Vidal is 7,700.
Yep. We do Vidal.
So we can move Hunt to the flex at the 325 game, and then Vidal to the running back one.
And just spin down at defense a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Detroit?
I don't know if we can afford them. We can't. 4,600. We can afford. We could afford San Francisco. We could afford Pittsburgh or the Colts. Um, we could afford
Ooh.
Jacksonville.
See, Dart has me worried.
Yeah.
Why don't do Detroit's defense? Sorry, everybody.
Okay, so Detroit's defense, and then we got to move $100 somewhere.
We could go down 100 from Watson.
Okay. So if we
As
do
good as
that,
she is.
Slayton.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't think so. DK.
Yeah, that
That's not 100, but that's like the closest one to what I would like. I think as far as the people on the board here.
let's go. I'll do that for Buffalo.
We don't. So can we get Shakir's too much, isn't he? I'm sure he is.
Yeah. I like Austin, but why not?
Calvin Austin.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So we got Purdy, Vidal, Manuel Wilson, Jamar Chase, Calvin Austin, Rasheed Rice, George Kittle, Kareem Hunt, and the Lions defense.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of targets, Austin will. He's not going to be a DK Metcalf, but
Right.
he'll get more targets this week. He did last week. He's come back from an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have Warren, actually, did we? Well, I do like to play, regardless, I do like it.
Do you think we need Warren or?
Not at all. We need a coat. We do, yeah. But here are the games I like target. I want to have one coat, which one I'd like to have this week.
Okay.
I don't. That's almost a month for me. It seems every week there's at least one or two Chargers receivers.
Yeah.
But they're kind of. I don't know. This week we need to do that. We don't have anybody from Detroit smashing Minnesota.
Okay, so
If we went down from Chase to Amon Brown, that would open up a lot.
Yeah.
But do you like that? I don't.
Not as much, honestly. What if we went to? I wish Dunze was 100% healthy. It looks like he's still dealing with that heel injury. That's concerning.
What?
I think Pittman. If we go from Chase to Pittman, that opens a lot. And you said you like the Colts.
I do.
Which I do too. But
we could go down for the Dow because I don't know if the Russell routine of tackles a lot.
Yeah, I think Kareem Hunt's a fine fill-in for Vidal. So if we do that, then that leaves us with 10-2. So then we can go back to Chase. So we can put
Great. Kareem got Jones, Hunt, Wilson. We could keep Chase.
Yeah, we can keep Rice. We can keep everything intact that way. So we got Purdy, Hunt, Wilson, Pittman, Austin, Chase, Kittle, Rice, and the Lions defense. I like that more than what we had.
There's Pittman. That's only 200.
72. Yeah.
And we still got $500.
I know. I was looking at that. We can go back to the Rams. I'd rather do the Rams defense, honestly, than the Lions. I mean, I like the Lions defense this week, but
yeah, I'm just looking at the running back. See if there's anything I wanted to regret. But that note was fine.
Oh, if we moved off of Wilson, we could probably make a move.
No, not really, unfortunately.
Not really. Okay. So do you want to stay with the Lions or do you want to go to the Rams on defense?
Let's do the Rams.
Okay. All right. So we got Purdy, Hunt, Wilson, Pittman, Austin, Chase, Kittle, Rice, and the Rams defense. I like it. All right. Well, that is going to do it for our Week 9 podcast. I hope everybody has enjoyed the show. Once again, if you would give us a like and hit the subscribe button, and then hit the alarm bell, let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. Any last minute thoughts before we get out of here on this Thursday, Week 9?
Well, we got the price picks out there. We'll be doing changes to in comments. I did that last week. Did our updates. We had to update our lineup from last week as injury. So I did sneak in there and do that. So we'll do that again if something pops up that's gonna make our lineup significantly better that we think you guys should know.
Yeah, I'll post it on X too. I didn't have a chance to do that last week, but I will this week. I'll make sure I get that
Yeah.
on X.
Yeah, I wanted to run one more thing by you. I'm kind of glad we moved off of Watson if you already have Emmanuel Wilson.
Wilson?
But
Yeah.
if you did, yeah, and now Delton, I'll just looking at it again. But I love Watson as a play.
Right. I like that move too. Well, I hope everybody has enjoyed the podcast. We'll be back next week for Week 10. Enjoy the rest of the World Series and NBA. I've really been enjoying NBA. I didn't know how much I would with all the changes they made, but the NBA on NBC is just top notch. I love the production on it.
Yeah.
And inside the NBA is the same. They just changed network, so I was glad about that too.
Yeah.
I was afraid that ESPN was going to jack that up, but
the quality of the game, like the actual picture itself, looks better too, clear.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's been a clearer picture. So I hope everybody enjoys Week 9. We will post any changes to our lineup, like we said, on X and in the YouTube comments from this video. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll be back again next week as we look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and Prize Picks. Thank you.
Thank you.